Hi, I'm Derek.
And I'm John, and we're from Defenders TV Podcast.
You're listening to the Damnation crossover event on Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast.
Hey guys, it's Rod Reyes here, artist of Marvel's Damnation comic book event. Welcome to the podcast crossover between Inner Demons, Sons of the Dragon, Defenders TV Podcast, and Into the Night. Every issue reviewed, all tie-in books discussed. May all be damned.
Tell me though, what's his technique? That last strike.
Hello, this is Connor McKenna.
Rebecca Hart.
And Carl.
And as you know, this is the Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast, which you should know from our various intros today. And yes, that is indeed Rod Reyes reading out an intro for our little Damnation crossover event, which is amazing. And yes, this is the crossover event we've been talking about for the past few episodes, where we and three other podcasts, Defenders TV podcast, the Ghost Rider podcast, Inner Demons, and the Into the Night and Moon Knight podcast are all covering Damnation. We're going to be doing all the tie-ins and stuff as well, so we will point you at the end of this episode to where you can find part 2 of this crossover.
I'm sure we'll be posting it on the Facebook page too.
Yeah, we'll be doing that too. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's good. It's a big thing. It's like our own Marvel crossover event. So one of the B-list characters has to die at the end to be resurrected in 6 months. So
this
who wants to do that?
crossover won't cost you $60.
We can always discuss possible deaths at some point, but
It's true. But obviously we are going to be covering Damnation 1. But first, before we get to the sad news, I have... It's not an email, it's a comment, but I feel like I should read this out now as opposed to the end of the episode because it is about Sabretooth. We were talking about Sabretooth last episode about whether he had adamantium claws or not. So we had a dear listener
hooray!
Message us explaining. So this is from VC26. A Sabretooth fan answering the question. Sabretooth does have adamantium. He got it back from the Weapon X program in the 90s. So characters hardly bring it up since it's old news. The writers of Death of Wolverine 2014 says he still has it, and it's his bones, not just his claws. So yeah.
Excellent.
But on to the sad news. It does look like Iron Fist is going to be getting axed.
I didn't want to be right, guys.
Dun, dun, dun.
Much as
You're
I
always
hate to say
right.
it. I'm not, but I just flagged it as a possibility, and all we know is there are no solicits for Iron Fist in May. So we get the 2 tie-in issues to Damnation event, and then everything's up in the air. So we'll see.
So on the plus side, at least it got wrapped up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we were
On
all
the
satisfied
downside-
with it. So, I mean, we were satisfied with how it ended last issue.
Yeah. On the downside, though, there was heaps of room to see Iron Fist be the Iron Fist and go to Kunlun and do stuff there, and I was really looking forward to seeing that. But hopefully we get a next run, the next writer doesn't ignore this run, and he follows up on it, which is a slim chance, but let's hope.
And who knows, I mean, if they do some kind of... There's always chances for him to pop up in other books. We've got the 10 million year BC Iron Fist will be back in Avengers from May. So there'll be some Iron Fist content around, and you never know, he might show up there. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll obviously keep you folks posted if he ends up being a member of a team or something.
And then definitely the window's left open on what transpires in the last issue of Defenders, which is also done.
Yeah, that also.
Hooray! Defenders is done.
Hey, it looked really pretty.
Look, everybody else loved it apart from me. What can I say?
It really did nothing.
It did nothing, and
It was
Yeah.
10 issues that accomplished nothing other than, yes,
And
we
it
know Danny
was-
can beat Elektra in a fight.
It was super Bendis-y. Like, it
Yes.
just ignored things and put in random characters. So, yeah, whatever. He gave me one nice panel at the end, so
He's such an idiot.
let's not. We wish him
Hey,
all
hey,
the very best
That's
at
DC
DC.
saving grace you're talking about.
No, it's not. The DC are like, hey, let's we're on the Titanic. We avoided that iceberg, but let's just reverse into it and see what happens. That's what hiring Bendis is like.
I'm
So-
sure he's going to do well there. You know, he's written some great stuff as well as some terrible stuff, and hopefully,
Got all the Superman books, damn it.
I know, I did laugh. But hopefully he will feel inspired to do his greatest work. Yeah, but
Let's hope.
Defenders for me was not it for his farewell from Marvel. However, I think he's doing great work on Iron Man. His Spider-Man's decent. You know, it's like I'm not 100% just dissing him. Defenders did nothing for me, for many reasons. So, but anyway, Damnation.
I mean, it did nothing for me either because I didn't read it. So,
but yes.
but right, let's get on to the first part of this crossover, shall we? Doctor
Yeah.
Strange, Damnation.
And I think
Or
the
Tarnation.
yes, or Tarnation if you get the alternate cover that was on sale for our dear friends who don't like seeing Damn on the front of a cover of a comic.
Wait,
The
really?
Bible Belt,
Oh yeah, oh yes.
where Rebecca once swore and offended people.
I did. I swore a lot and offended
She
a lot.
actually used the word they're covering up.
I did. Yeah.
That reminds me of there was a few years ago. There was I don't know if anyone remembers the Jeff Johns Superman Brainiac arc, but there was a cover where he was drinking a beer with Pa Kent,
Uh-huh.
and they had to change the cover so it just had a big soda label on the bottle because apparently Superman can't drink beer. So,
I mean, I think on the good side, it wasn't one of Marvel's limited variants. Once they, I think some retailers said that they would have problems selling it with Damnation on the front, rather than people actually complained or there being any outrage. So we don't need to but some retailers came to Marvel with a valid worry about this, and they made this alternate cover very quickly, and let them order it as if it was the normal cover. So there's no, I mean, I think actually this was kind of a good thing. We don't know. I mean, we can laugh about the sort of swearing, things like that, but we don't, it's not our business. And if people are more I mean, it is weird because you're reading a comic, and if you don't like the word damnation, I'm not sure how you're going to deal with a comic about demons and hell.
yeah.
But it's a valid thing for them to bring up, and the cover looks pretty sweet. The Tarnation one, I almost bought myself one as a kind of bless. But then, good for Marvel for doing it and not making it a big deal. So I think the credits for it are right at the end though, so I don't know if we want to do those first.
Oh, we'll read it. We'll read out the credits
Yeah.
that are on the cover. So we have Nick Spencer, Donny Cates, and Rod Reyes. Rod Reyes is the artist and the cover artist as well. And the cover looks amazing.
Yeah, cover's incredible.
It's misleading as hell, but
It's not misleading for the intro to an event. It's misleading perhaps for the next 30 pages of comic.
yes.
All right. I'm going to be the voice of reason here today.
Uh-oh.
I don't
No,
mind.
I'm the voice of reason. You're the voice of unreason because
Oh, okay. Anyway, it's a cool cover. It's very red. Damnation is flaming. Mephisto's
So
in the
Nick
background.
Spencer is the writer?
Nick Spencer and Donny Cates co-wrote it.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that Nick Spencer did most of the stuff that ties into Secret Empire. And Donny Cates did a lot of the new stuff, and they did co-write a Captain America during Secret Empire together, so they have worked together before. But that was more,
Excellent.
I think, Donnie stepping in when Nick was falling behind with some of the work. But at least they have worked together before, so it's kind of nice.
Okay.
And I have the
Well,
covers on the Facebook page, if anybody wants to go check those out. And there is one more super variant, psychedelic, bad trip cover that I did not show because Danny is not on it.
I bought the Greg Smallwood covers. He's doing a connecting set of covers, so I don't know if Danny's on that one or not, but he's definitely on one of the ones of the 4. So that's the cover I got for it. I almost picked up the Damnation one as well because it amuses me.
I have to find that one for my collection.
You know,
So-
I'd buy anything with Greg Smallwood, so.
you guys can cover these first few pages because I have no idea what's going on.
I don't either with the Las Vegas stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Secret Empire expert here.
Okay.
So it's setting the scene of Secret Empire, and Doctor Strange is narrating. He's keep getting the reader up to scratch. In Secret Empire, the Hydra takeover, big, controversial storyline. Las Vegas was destroyed completely, with many, many deaths, etc., etc. And that was like one of the worst incidents in Secret Empire. So he's setting that up in the first page. You get this was all the devastation. You get these kind of like weird Hydra ships coming in, like doing it, and then a few of the heroes saying, we're going to protect the future. You've got Falcon, who's back to being Falcon, was Captain America, Captain Marvel, Thor, Black Panther, and Clint Hawkeye. Standing on a stage giving a speech, and Doctor Strange comes in and disrupts them and says stop being so pessimistic about everything. Basically does this big thing where he talks a little bit about what's happened in the Doctor Strange run, about the fact that he's a lot more powerful now than he has been for a long time.
He looks like Jesus.
That was, he's tidied up his hair since that flashback picture. But he has, if you've been reading Doctor Strange, he has recently had this run-in with Loki, who was Sorcerer Supreme, and now he's kind of been powered up a bit. So he decides to bring back Las Vegas on the basis of if we have these powers, why shouldn't we do some good with them? He makes a very weird comment that I think almost everyone would disagree with. It's kind of like, we're Avengers, that's what we do. It's like, rebuilding cities is not what we do. It's not what Avengers mean.
Avengers is like getting revenge, revenge things that are dead.
It's not
You'd
reconstruction. But,
the Resurrectors, maybe? The Fixer-uppers?
Protectors, whatever. Yeah. But, the art's amazing.
Doesn't everyone hate these guys by now?
No, because in the end, these are the ones that came good. But the art that Rob Reyes has done for the resurrection of Las Vegas is pretty incredible. And of course, if you're not aware, if you don't know Las Vegas well, you might think this is Las Vegas is the kind of place where you can see these things that look like they're from all different parts of the world, but they're actually different casinos in Vegas. So if you're confused by seeing things like the Statue of Liberty there, that's why.
That did confuse me.
I will point out for non-Americans who've not been to Las Vegas. But yeah, and that's why there's so there's all these bits that are but it's just incredible. It ends up with Strange just screaming, and it's just beautiful art. Very sort of, and then you get the restoration of the Las Vegas Strip, the Luxor in the front, and it's pretty much exactly what it looks like. And Strange is sweating. Obviously, has been quite tricky for him, and then you get sort of the banter with the other heroes, which is him saying, "We call ourselves." That's him saying, "The Avengers. Our job is to set things right." Again, not entirely sure you've got it, Strange, but it's good enough.
The Avengers their job is to mess everything up.
Well,
for the
which
past
they
20 years from what I've seen.
Yeah, such a downer, but yeah, and then fix it again. But he's sort of, and then Thor's talking to him a bit about the cost of magic, which has also changed a little bit since that run from very recently, from what I know. But he says it's worth the cost and shows you Mum reuniting with her son. Aww.
She'll eat him later.
I love his face in the middle of these.
Yeah, there's this beautiful panel spread of him just smiling happily, with lots of people hugging.
It's like, for once I've done something right.
Yeah, so you know everything's about to go horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, the next page, literally rumble, and then a portal to hell opens up. So like, probably one of the worst things that could go wrong goes wrong, I guess.
It's pretty awesome. It's
this big gnarly tower.
Yeah, with a kind of Eye of Sauron on the top.
Yeah.
Then Alice Cooper comes out.
Pretty much. And welcomes people to the opening of the Hotel Inferno. So we're staying Las Vegas style with a new hotel.
Big, giant, phallic hotel.
To be fair, most of them are big, giant, phallic hotels along there.
True.
Yeah, so
I'll stop ruining everything.
It's usually me that makes all the phallic jokes.
Yeah, I didn't point out any mistakes in the cupboard. I'll text them to you later.
Okay. We all look forward to that. You can point them out anytime you want, Carl.
Nah, they're good. I like that cover.
Okay.
Of course, Falcon's like, what the hell did you do? And get it, hell. And then Strange just goes, I'll handle it, I got this. And he just waltzes into Hotel Inferno with elf Alex Cooper. Alice Cooper.
Alice's brother, Alex.
Yeah, his twin brother who's in hell and is like a 7-foot elf thing.
Can you imagine? And so he goes into, and it's great. It's like total setup like a casino, but everything like washed in red so you can tell it's hellish. And lots of little demon faces over the fruit machines. Some Spidey.
Is that
villains.
Electro?
Yeah, and Shocker, right?
That doesn't look like Shocker to me. Unless he's changed.
No, that's oh crap. No, that is not Shocker. That's another cheeseball villain from like back in the 70s, early 80s that died, and I'm totally blanking on his name.
So did Electro die at some point, I guess?
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
The other guy is Night Grim Reaper, the original costume.
Yeah, I believe so. Looks like he's the one who got reaped. And
that's why he's saying pretty ironic, right? Because he's the Grim Reaper and he's in hell.
Okay. Then Doctor Strange is like, what is this place? And it's like, did you not read the sign? It's Hotel Inferno, Doc. Come on.
Yeah.
Just instantly hitting on the waitress as he does.
I'm not sure what is this place is actually hitting on. Like, I mean, he may just be asking.
How is he hitting on the waitress?
I'm just saying.
Asking
the waitress.
Well,
she's Doctor Strange. Hello.
He did choose to go to the scantily clad waitress and not ask anyone else. So maybe I'll give that.
But she's
Grim
only
Reaper
staff
just
member
spoke
there.
to him, and he annoyed Grim Reaper to go to the girl.
Yeah,
but
you would,
that idiot's
wouldn't you?
gonna know anything. It's like, oh, what's going on? I better ask Grim Reaper. He'll know what's up.
All right, now Connor. Ghost Rider question here.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Bouncer the demon who tried to take out Johnny Blaze with the giant sand clock?
When did this happen?
Original run, I want to say like exit issue 65.
It definitely rings a bell.
Was that Asmodeus?
Don't remember.
I'm looking this up.
I'm sure our Ghost Rider friends will tell us the benefits of having a collective of podcasts.
Yes.
I want to play Hell Jackpot. I love
honored
fruit
to have a
machines.
neon sign with the name of the hotel on the gambling
That's
floor.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Nothing's unusual.
I have not been to Vegas.
Oh, no big deal. It's no loss. I don't love it though.
Yeah, just
Connecticut, like 3 casinos now.
I believe his first appearance was Ghost Rider 64.
There you go.
No, it was Ghost Rider. Yeah, Ghost Rider 53. But yeah, no, he was in Ghost Rider,
Huh.
like the original run.
Cool.
Yay.
Well, he's
Ghost
dragging
Rider's
Strange through the hotel by his cape.
Because the boss wants to see you.
Because if you wear a cape, you have to expect to be grabbed by it.
No capes.
No cape.
Yeah. And then we have Mephisto wearing a suit this time.
It looks fab.
Did anyone read the Andersenti Daredevil run where Mephisto popped up in the 80s?
I probably read it
John
in the
Romita
80s.
Jr.? So Mephisto's like this really fat, weird-looking thing that's just eating millions of souls, and it looks awesome. I'll post a page in the show.
He's
Anyway.
pretty cool in his skinny guy setup here.
Oh, yeah, no, he's fine here.
He has awesome eyebrows.
Classic devil look.
Yeah.
And Strange is like, Mephisto. Ooh.
He's getting his
What have
glowy
you
fist
thought?
ready.
It's his
Yeah.
Iron Fist.
He,
He wishes.
I doubt it.
Yeah, that's true.
Mephisto's
Yeah,
doing his
no one-
usual kind of demon thing about like, oh no, woe is me. I didn't want to be here.
I'm the victim.
Yeah.
He's even
I
like
was
holding his face in
Sitting
his
around,
hand.
minding my own business.
He's taken him to like this movie theater, and he's tried to pull the old arm maneuver
Yep.
on Doctor Strange. It hasn't really worked.
But Doctor Strange has the best cynical face on him.
Yeah.
Here, see for yourself. Get your arm off me. Shh. Talking during movies is a sin, you know.
Definitely one of
So
the
you have
best panels in the issue.
We have a great like film reel thing here.
So
And
amazing.
Just a Mephisto, doing his thing in his realm, being bored, and then all of a sudden Las Vegas just drops in there in its entirety, and he thinks it's the best thing ever. And he spent
I like the little
untold-
devil guy on his cell phone just casually prodding the guy tied to the rock with his trident.
Yeah, there's some really cute little touches in it.
And yeah, so then he said they started torturing. Nope, sorry, I got that wrong. But yeah, no, they think it's awesome. They're like, this is the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got taken back from them, so they're cranky, and now they popped back up.
Yeah, and he's very dismissive about Earth. There's like all the cheap, trashy stuff that's being sold there, and how hot it is in Vegas, which just seems amusing for a demon to be. It's too hot here. And then we sort of flashback to our heroes, talking about how many
It's a dry
people are out
heat.
there. Yeah, it's a different kind of heat. So like they're talking about all the people that are flocking back out onto the streets of Vegas, and they're sort of saying, what should we do about it? And Falcon's like, Stephen's in control of it. And Captain Marvel's like, what, the same one that caused this all? But yeah, and Hawkeye makes a fun comment about having had his first and third wedding in Vegas. And he says,
Why is... Sorry, go on.
Go on. I want to hear the question.
I was... every time I've seen this chick, Captain Marvel, just being a belligerent person, and they're like, oh, he caused this whole situation. It's like, okay, so you have a pillar of hell in the middle of Las Vegas. That's bad, right? But that's better than not having a Las Vegas and everyone being dead.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he did just say, I'll fix everything, brought everyone back, then the pillar. She's not wrong to point out that he did cause the problem. Whether it's I agree. I mean, like, to be honest, Captain Marvel has had some issues with her portrayal over the last couple of years, which everyone, I think, is hoping that somebody will get on the title and make her slightly less. And some of it is pointed out in future chats in this issue. But yeah, so he's sort of saying they're trying to think how to keep everyone safe, and Hawkeye's saying Vegas doesn't know how to be safe, and you just get some little views of people drinking and people throwing bottles and popping champagne and throwing money up in the air. And then we're back to Mephisto.
Who's like, hey, I like this.
Yeah.
It's a city full of sin. Sin City, if you will.
And you get to see
Yes.
some of the sins. You
Yeah,
get to see
so we got...
someone having an affair.
You can't put Damnation on the cover, but you can put a hooker on page 12.
Like I said.
I do like how everyone's like, all these guys are like, oh, we got a second chance at life. Instead of trying to get out of going to hell when they die again, they just
Straight back
continue
in, yeah.
committing crimes. Yeah.
People breaking and entering into a bank.
And there's a guy who's, don't act so surprised, Gary. I can't believe you thought a little thing like dying would cancel out your debts.
Yeah.
It's debt
Get
collectors.
his face pounded in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mephisto takes Strange into a vault, and we see people starting to burn up from their sins. So the person having sex, their face just starts burning and dripping off them. Pretty gross.
Like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's pretty
Now,
great.
what exactly happens to the bank robbers? One's being attacked by a swarm of bugs, one's having gas pains, and
Yeah.
one's turning into a spiny thorn-covered tree or something.
Yeah, a bit of
I don't know,
demon
but I like it.
takeover. I like it as well. It's very atmospheric. It's not quite what we're used to with our Iron Fist comics, but pretty cool. And Strange picks up a gold bar and a banknote and sees that each of them have got souls locked in them.
Dun, dun, dun.
So that's the
Horror
You're
Fuck
locking
this.
souls away in a casino vault.
Mhm.
And Mephisto's like, did I not give you my card?
This is what I do. Hello.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Which is true.
You've met me before, right?
This is one of the tamer things he's done, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's saying they're pretty much deserving of fire and brimstone until we get to...
The
People who
person
don't
being
really look
burned
like
up for not putting money in their parking meter.
yeah.
Is that mostly deserving? Oh, bless him.
Or Fred.
Fred. And Doctor Strange threatening him is, whatever you're doing, demon, stop now, crawl back to your kingdom. And Mephisto's like, did you not hear what I just said? You're in my kingdom now. He's claimed Las Vegas for his own. The dancer turns into a succubus. Well, I'm assuming it's a succubus. Or
Yeah.
a demon. And probably starts eating the patrons. I love this. There's like a prize fight or something going on in boxing, and
Yeah.
one of the boxers just turns into a demon and punches the other one
Out the ring.
straight into the air. Yeah.
It's brilliant. And there's the demons with
Good.
the break-in people
Mm-hmm.
going after the
Or maybe
thieves.
that guy, maybe one of them was turning into a demon.
Yeah,
Probably
I
not
think
the
so,
spotting.
because they're now
I
attacking
think it
the
was the
police,
gas
aren't they?
pain
Yeah.
guy, because it looks like he's still
Yeah.
wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And now
And then-
Mephisto's Vegas show, Sin!
It's amazing.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's got all his showgirls behind him and a sparkly cloak now.
And
His
he's got
cloak's
his own cape.
better than Stephen Strange's.
Yeah.
It's been
Collar's not
bedazzled.
as big.
Well,
trying to
it's getting
rival
there, yeah. It's not quite as vertical, should I say. It's probably just as big. But it's not. Size doesn't matter.
He has some dialogue here. It doesn't take much, you understand. It's your natural condition, after all. Has been since the apple in the garden. If you believe in that sort of thing, I'm still on the fence myself. Now, doesn't Satan exist in Marvel? There's like a bunch of Lords of Hell. I know Mephisto was originally Satan. Well, he was in Ghost Rider.
Yeah, because
but-
that's Damon and Satana's dad, right? Is Satan.
Yeah. But, well, Mephisto's their dad, but was...
No, I think they just changed that in the Supernatural one they just had.
Did they, or they just say he took on different names? I didn't read it very
Oh,
carefully,
no.
to be honest. I was only looking for Damon's chest in that whole series.
Oh, God, will you stop?
Wow. Stop objectifying men.
I don't object, just Damon Hellstrom. I don't care about the others, but it's wrong
And
for him
Such a
to.
liar.
No, it's wrong for him to wear a shirt. I don't mind when Danny wears a shirt because it always gets ripped off, but like Damon should never be in a shirt. It's an
Just his cloak.
It's an important part of his character is having that pentagram always viewable, you know.
Yep.
Hmm.
I mean, you could always put a tracksuit on with the pentagram visible, but
Yeah, I don't really see him as a tracksuit type.
Just a dainty vest.
No.
So-
No, he's fine as he is. It's alright. Let's talk about Mephisto with his head in a lion, shall we?
yeah.
It's the full
And
Vegas
then-
experience.
Then he got guillotined.
Yeah,
His
in a
head's on a
magic
plate
show. Yeah.
And Doctor Strange's like, there's still heroes. No matter how much you confuse, corrupt, deceive, those people won't buy what you're selling. And then we have
The hero.
the clown posse trying to... What?
I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, Thor's just calling thunder. I'm not really sure where she's gonna
I
aim
think
it.
Thor's using scare tactics
Oh yeah, maybe.
to...
To keep people off.
And this is I like Mephisto's reaction. He's like, you can't be serious. Have you seen their resumes? If anybody's going to end up in my realm someday, it's them. Kind of on Mephisto's side here. They've gotten a lot of people killed.
Yep.
Yep.
I
Nobody's
It's like
hands
if you-
are clean in Marvel.
Yeah,
Nobody's.
but Doctor Strange says they'll always come through in the end. And that leads Mephisto to say, would you like to make a friendly wager?
He's come to wager.
You know whose hands are clean? Spider-Man's. Really?
He made a deal
I
with
guess-
Mephisto.
Went Stacey's
Come on.
neck with his webbing.
Oh,
Him-
come on. That was...
He made a
He
deal with
deliberately
Mephisto!
Yeah,
Oh,
the magic
yeah.
eraser of Mephisto.
That's right. That's the thing that has made me never read Spider-Man again.
Right,
outside
okay,
very few
but like,
pages.
you know, we can't, he has to...
Casada!
Well, they might be reversing that. We'll see.
Ugh.
But I like Strange's reaction to it as he just goes, "You're not serious. This again?" It's like, how many of us are you going to try and make fall for this, like, do a wager thing? But he basically gets, you know, like, but Mephisto's sort of saying, like, you know, good versus evil. If, you know, like, he gets Doctor Strange's soul if he wins, and if Doctor Strange wins, Mephisto will take it all back to his realm, and then Strange adds on, and you have to empty that vault. Which Mephisto agrees.
Doctor pretty much goes, okay.
Yeah. And
You're not going to
Strange
fool me
says,
with this. All right.
Then I'm in.
Honestly, how much weight does Doctor Strange's soul possibly carry? Is it just
Well-
the fact that he wouldn't be out in the realm messing with him? That's... I mean, he's just another soul.
Doctor Strange. Well,
Maybe
Doctor
it's
Strange...
just, you know, who knows?
Isn't Doctor Strange, like, generally a pain in Mephisto's bottom? Wouldn't it be good to have his soul out of the way?
I guess.
It's probably good bragging
I feel
rights.
Definitely. I feel like his soul would be worth more than Las Vegas.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, Mephisto's enemies seem to be, like, pretty big guns. And I personally think Doctor Strange is one of the biggest guns. Hell, I remember seeing threads back in the day as like, who would win in a fight, Doctor Strange or the entire Marvel universe? So
It's probably like he's
Like-
probably most after Strange, Doom, and yeah, probably those are his two big targets.
Silver Surfer, if possible, I guess.
Wow, who wouldn't take out the Silver Surfer if they could?
That's true.
You know, like
yeah.
that's tough call. As we're about to see in Thanos next week, I imagine. So we're back to our up on surface heroes, and Thor's trying to keep the civilians away from her, while Falcon's
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, you know, chill."
Yeah, he's like, what the hell are you doing? You're swinging your hand.
And they all get a bit grumpy here. Like Thor's like, mortals never take responsibility for their actions. You always blame someone else. Why do I waste my time with you? It's like, chill, Thor. Don't.
Okay,
Well,
so one
gotta-
second.
yeah.
I know Thor is Jane Foster took
Yeah.
the mantle of Thor now.
Yeah.
But Thor is still Thor.
Yeah.
So, like, how... Because the thing is, you take the hammer away from Thor, right? But he's still Thor.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? So, like,
Right.
how...
So you're saying...
Has
right.
she, like, adopted... Well, I'm just not sure how how... Obviously, I know Thor doesn't have the powers that he used
Yeah.
to.
He's now
But
Odin's
how do you...
son. Just to...
How do you turn into Thor by getting... Like, I get that you get Thor's powers with the hammer, right? But...
This is how
like,
Jason
it
Aaron's
seems like her
run it.
personality is pretty much Thor's personality.
It does.
But even though she's Jane
yes,
Foster?
she does seem to have more of the Thor personality.
So-
It may be that she's just spent a couple of years fighting for Asgard and much more serious things than civilians in Las Vegas. I don't know. It
who
seems
okay.
a little bit
War
grumpy
Thor?
for her. Pardon?
Who was War Thor or whatever the other Thor that showed up was?
That was Volstagg.
Ah,
We're using the ultimate Thor. The yarn. Is it Yarnborn? The axe? Anyway.
I'm a bit
Oh no, he has the other
rusty
hammer.
on-
Sorry, the ultimate. He had the ultimate Thor's hammer. Thor's got the other one. Odinson's got the other one. So, but Captain Marvel argues back. At least some of us are trying to come up with solutions. And then T'Challa makes the little snarky, perhaps a giant impregnable shield, which is what Captain Marvel did in Secret Empire. She goes a bit like, because it was a shitty thing for him to say. So she sort of snaps back. And then Falcon makes a little jibe at her, saying, about Civil War 2. So if you want all the references, this is what they're referencing. Is T'Challa's referencing the crappy thing Carol did in Secret Empire. Although it wasn't crappy, it was sensible, but whatever.
I do
And then
feel like Carol's actions in Civil War 2 are reprehensible, though, from what I read.
Civil War 2 was some of the worst of how she's ever been presented. Thank you, Bendis. But I like that these things are coming up in conversation in this. And then
Hawkeye's the only guy I like here. He's
Yeah.
just starting to catch on.
But then
fire.
she turns back and says, so she's now going to make the Falcon like, well, hey, how did you not know your best friend was like a Hydra goon?
That seems like a dirty jab, really.
He says, don't go there. And Hawkeye's, like, stop it, you only ever fight, which is, for the last couple of events, pretty true. And then he starts to burn up.
For the last, 20 years. Maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I mean
Yeah.
specifically the last couple of events have been on everyone's mind, is there hasn't been one where they've all sort of got together.
Yeah, and then they all start...
They all start to burn up.
Yeah, Mephisto claims all of their souls.
Yeah.
Turns them into
Little,
his goons.
goons. All very flaming skull heads. Cool.
Now, I admit I don't like these characters, so I got a lot of guilty pleasure out of watching them become like his henchmen and having their heads on fire. I thought that was great, but
I think it's just a beautiful page. Honestly.
I looked it up in Spirit of Vengeance when
thank you.
Satana and Hellstrom go visit their father. His peon calls him Lord Marduk, but in him talking with Damien and Satana, and they talk about what's going on between the demon and angel meeting, which we won't even get into what goes through in Spirits and Vengeance, because it talks about the beginning. And Marduk says he was still going by Lucifer at that time.
Oh, that's what I meant, Lucifer. Yeah.
So Mephisto is his dad still, or no?
No.
No,
Different demon.
Marduk, who was Lucifer.
So, because as I said, the Damien Hellstrom I read, he was Satan's son,
But
who
then
turned out to be Mephisto.
we use Lucifer interchangeably with Satan a lot of the time. I don't know if they do in the comics, because, I'm not going to go into...
What a mess.
Yeah. Anyway. But no, I thought it was something like that, Carl. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a beautiful page of our Avengers with their glowy skulls. And then we go back to, I guess, wherever Wong lives.
Yeah.
I was going to say New York. I'm guessing New York. And Wong is sitting watching Jeopardy on TV and answering questions. And there's a scratch at the door. Have either of you guys been reading Doctor Strange at all, or was this totally like what the hell? To you?
Oh no, I have because of you, Rebecca.
Oh, okay, I'm glad to hear it.
I really like Doctor Strange, but I'm not up to date with
Right,
him at
so
all.
Donny Cates took over 5 issues ago, and that's where this whole thing's happened with Loki being Sorcerer Supreme and blah blah. So it introduced this new character of this Basset Hound called Bats, who, as you can see, is waiting at the front door for Wong to let him in, and is a ghost. Wong says he's allergic, and closes the door on him. Bats is a ghost, so walks through the door, and is telling him that Stephen's in trouble, which is very cute, and mentions Vega. Like, Wong doesn't seem that interested because he's kind of abandoned and living on his own now. And then Bats mentions, he's pissed with Stephen, because Stephen can be not the most sympathetic of characters sometimes, and Bats mentions Vegas, and that seems to get him his interest. And it's a fairly bare apartment, but Wong's looking pretty good, I think. So he has a look at his cauldron to see what's going on, calls Stephen arrogant, talks about hubris. Bat says, yeah, it's a bit like him, isn't it? Yeah. He goes,
Precisely.
my favourite is, I tried to tell him it was a bad idea, but no one listens to me.
No one listens to the guy that poops on the lawn.
And I'm like, Bats, you're a ghost. You don't poop on the lawn. And then the best panel of the issue, Jeopardy asks a question about Lockjaw, and Bat says, oh, I know this one. It's very cute. Any reference to Lockjaw, all hail. And Wong's obviously going to get involved and grabs his book and says he's going to call on the people who are going to help. Who are...
It says that the Dark Lord and his army will be too powerful for us to face alone. And Bat says, who said us?
I love
To
it.
defeat him, we will need the help of many. I will call upon the ones who have faced his kind before. And Bat says, also the ones who know how to beat stuff up good. Ooh, do you know the Hulk? You think you could call him? That'd be cool. He would be of no use to us. But they will be the hunter. And we get a picture of Blade, the Knight,
Mooney.
Moon Knight,
In his
the
Mr. Knight outfit.
Slayer, who Connor didn't know who that was. Which I thought
No
was pretty funny.
shaming. No shaming.
No, I can
Elsa
shame on
Bloodstone.
that. Elsa's been around for years.
And we don't all read
2001.
every comic.
You
But
don't
she's
have
very
to.
cool. She's very cool.
Like, I can't remember her ever popping up. And I've read a lot of comics in Marvel that have
Yeah.
popped up since 2001. And I can't remember her ever popping up. So,
Rebecca, what was I think it was a 12-issue
Next Wave,
miniseries.
Agents of Hate.
Oh my God, Connor.
Yeah.
You
You would
have
actually
to
love it,
read
Connor.
that. It is called Next Wave.
Agents
Like
of
Rebecca
Hate.
just said, it is hysterical.
It's Warren Ellis comic, and it's taking the piss out of Marvel. But with
Ooh.
Marvel characters. So it's her, Boom Boom from the X-Men, Monica Rambeau, the Captain, and they're just having a lot of... it's got Fin Fang Foom in the first issue.
Machine Man, and he's drunk all the time,
Yeah, it's
talking about getting drunk or wanting to get drunk.
it's
or
really funny.
pissed off that he's not drunk.
But Elsa's very sweary. She's a monster hunter and lots of shooting, so that's kind of fun. Then we get the Order.
The Order.
Mhm.
Brother Voodoo, or Dr. Voodoo as he goes by now.
And Man
And
Thing.
Man Thing.
Man Thing.
Yay!
And of course, our favorite, the Fist.
I really thought he would go with martial artist there or something like that, but the Fist, always going to get a bit of a snigger. But hey, he looks pretty cool.
I feel like the Iron Fist would have been fun.
Yeah, I think the Iron Fist would have probably been better, but whatever.
And he's fighting ninjas there as well.
Wow, that's what he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ninjas are everywhere in Marvel.
Yeah.
And to lead the way, the Rider.
Woohoo!
Yay!
And
it's Johnny Blaze too, which is amazing.
yes.
So,
Which is always
very exciting. Yeah.
No, I love Robbie. You won't ever. No, I love Robbie. I can like all of them, but my opinion is valid.
Yeah.
All right, all right, children.
Honestly, I don't know why. No, I'm not even going to get into it.
No, let's not.
Honestly, actually, I have no opinion on Robbie Reyes because I haven't actually read any of Robbie Reyes stuff. So I've only read Johnny and Danny Ketch stuff. And
It's the
Johnny
spirit
is
of the serial killer.
superior.
It's fine. Everyone, So that's the end. We get the
but-
credits.
Johnny's isn't even a spirit. Technically, it's a big demon. So I don't think the spirit of a serial killer really matters.
Yeah, but isn't a demon who was once an angel or some poo like that?
But the reason it's a spirit of vengeance is because of Johnny's subconscious channeling those powers. It's not because of the demon itself. The demon itself is an evil jerk, but yeah. I had a very long conversation with this actually with the Inner Demons Ghost Rider podcast because I'm like, can you update me on 30 years of Ghost Rider? Because I'm a bit behind, and we had a very in-depth podcast, not in-depth podcast, in-depth discussion about motivations, who's the current Ghost Rider, Johnny, because I've read a lot of Ghost Rider, but nothing past the 90s as of right now, so I just wanted to catch up because I love Johnny Blaze, and I wanted to know where he was at for this. So it was a very
Johnny
interesting,
Blaze got a
confusing.
mullet and a magical shotgun. Connor was like, I'm out.
No, I was fine with that. It's when he turned into a cyborg that I was like, whoa. I'm not out yet. It's just confusing and bad, and I have to the lengths I've had to go to track down these Midnight Suns 90s crossovers with terrible artwork and oh my god. Anyway, let's leave that for the Inner Demons podcast. For now, yes, that ending was awesome. Best part of the issue was the montage of people they're going to call.
I don't know. I think I love the issue. I think
actually
the art was incredible. I love his art.
I really love the issue as well. I just thought that thing was ooh, I'm really excited for the next part.
Yeah, it was unlike some. Yeah, I thought it drew me in better than other comics that have done that before and say, oh, we better ring these people. This was kind of not, and having it all with this layout with the panels all got electricity around them and just giving them all. It feels like we are assembling the team. And I think as a setup issue, it did its job pretty well.
It's also the angle we can't call the normal standard people, we got to get the experts in here.
Yeah.
Because this is a magical threat. And, I love my magic in comics, so
I think it's going to be really interesting to see these guys work together.
Yeah,
My
I really
question would be, is Danny going to get possessed again by the...
It doesn't sound like it. Have you, we'd love to get the Agamotto thing sorted out.
It was never really wrapped up.
I will tell everyone now that if in the Iron Fist tie-in issues, the Agamotto thing is ever mentioned by Doctor Strange, me and Carl will have a party. Proper party. For anyone who doesn't know, the last time it was referenced was somebody saying, Danny is the Eye of Agamotto, never mentioned again. So.
Yeah, it came up and was mentioned in one issue. It was a War Machine issue.
Yeah.
Never came up again. And maybe we can just explain why I was saying it was the white suit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
He doesn't wear the white suit anymore, so it's not
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
that's how they explained away the red suit. More or less. That's how you can tell we're an Iron Fist podcast. We lapse into Iron Fist in jokes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, I have you read the solicits for the Iron Fist tie-ins?
No.
They sound very much like Danny's getting into another tournament, but this time fighting demons. So it should be quite fun.
Oh yeah, the cage match. Thing.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so then we get the we get the cover for Damnation 2 on the back, and then it's telling us the next ones, which is Doctor Strange, Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, Iron Fist, and a Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider special that are all going to tie into the event. So it's basically advertising the next comics to look at, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I will be reading all of the tie-in comics. We won't be covering all of them. There's 3 more actually, first let's read over the credits for the issue before we get into the next time stuff. Someone want to read those out?
Yeah, I'll do it. Writers Nick Spencer and Donny Cates, artist Rod Reyes, letterer VC's Travis Lanham, cover Rob Reyes, variant covers blah blah, including Greg Smallwood. He's the only one I'm going to mention because I'm a horrible person. Designers Jay Bowen and Anthony Gambino. I'm guessing they did the Damnation logo. Assistant editor Kathleen Wozniacki, and editor Nick Lowe, and editor-in-chief is now C.B. Cebulski. Chief Creative Writer Officer Joe Quesada, blah blah blah. Yep, pretty cool.
Yep, I really like that issue. I thought the art was fantastic, and I'm always a fan of Magic and Mephisto and stuff like that. It was all really awesome, and I'm really excited with the team up.
I really am, much more than I thought I would be.
Curious to see how much of a jerk Blade's going to be, because whenever he turns up, he's just the biggest jerk in the room. This is going off the 90s, I guess, but yeah. So yes, we aren't covering. So there's 4 issues in the main Damnation title. We aren't covering any of those, where we only do the first one. So Damnation 2 will be the Moon Knight podcast, Into the Night. But the next issue on the list is Doctor Strange 386, and that will be done by the Defenders TV podcast. We'll have links to all of these guys in the show notes.
And we'll also post them on the webpage, on the Facebook page when they come up.
We'll put a direct link to the Defenders podcast beneath where I put the episodes as well, just so you can go there and bookmark that for the next part of the crossover. And yeah, but we will be doing the Iron Fist tie-ins, obviously, which is probably the rest of the new Iron Fist series, and it's 3 issues.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool. And there's only one Ghost Rider tie-in.
There's only one Ghost Rider, and I don't know how many issues of Ben Reilly's in it. 1 or 2.
3.
I think he's 2.
3. Okay.
He's 3 too.
Yeah,
it would make sense because he's another one doing with an ongoing title. Although I'd guess his probably ends not long after Damnation either.
Everything.
Doesn't Ghost Rider have an ongoing title? Or?
No.
Nope.
Oh, no, that's depressing.
Well,
anyway.
hopefully, something will come out of this, and we'll get a team from this one, which is the dream.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think it was CBR.com just 2 days ago announced that Marvel's going to be renumbering all their books again.
Well,
are you serious?
All right, let's chill. Let's chill. They're going to have both sets
I am
of
chill.
numbers.
I think it's hilarious.
They're going to have both sets of numbers on the books. I think there was a clarification about it, which it's whatever. Look, I don't know why people get so het up about this stuff, because I think everyone's dying to slam Marvel and have a laugh about it, but it doesn't really matter. Honestly.
Nope.
Yeah. I think there's bigger things I can get mad about than renumbering.
I'm not mad.
No, I know. I mean, the worst thing about it is that now you're going to be like, one volume will have 1 to 20 in, or 1 to 5 in. The next volume will have 73 to 79 in, and then the next volume will have 1 to 5 again. Which is a problem that they've had for many years now with the renumbering. So
I think numbers should just go away.
yeah, I mean,
and it should just be Doctor Strange, March 2018.
I think they are starting to do like arc titles on the covers, not of the individual comics, but of the trades at least. So you can say, like, I know Doctor Strange, the first one is called God of Magic, God of Sorcery, God of Magic, one of the two. But at least you know that's those 5 issues where he where he deals with the Loki thing. Yeah, it's just, but I think there was some kind of clarification about how they would also include the longer numbers for the biggest titles. I mean, it's not going to affect us too much because it looks like Iron Fist is going away after 80.
Oh.
But we will see.
Yeah. So for the rest of the podcast and on this crossover, go check out Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast, Inner Demons, the Ghost Rider podcast, and the Defenders TV podcast. Not to be confused with the Defenders podcast, although you should check them out too. This is specifically called the Defenders TV podcast, and they are covering the next part of Damnation, which is Doctor Strange 386. I will put a direct link for them into the show notes and where I upload the episodes. So, yeah. I would definitely check these other guys out so you can continue this awesome event.
Yeah, I can't
And they're all
wait to
great
hear them.
podcasts as well.
Cover
So
looks crazy.
Yeah, it does.
very, very excited for the next issue. I will be tuning in myself to the other guys.
Yeah, I definitely will.
And
They're all good guys.
probably be writing in as well to get my 2 cents in. Yeah.
Just to show how much of a nerd I am, I printed out the full page ad for the Damnation books listing all of them.
Ah, nice.
Oh, nice.
I have it
Wrote
somewhere on
next.
my desk.
I looked up what every single issue costs and handed the piece of paper into my local comic book store with a stack of cash, paying for the entire run in advance,
Nice.
so they can't say, "Oh, we didn't have enough, we didn't pull it for you." Like, here we go,
That's pretty cool.
pay in full, put it in my frickin' subscription box.
I know the trade that comes out in the end for it is going to have them all in, which is kind of nice. So that's coming out in July. If anybody is trade waiting, you probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast. But, you know, if you are trade waiting, July.
In stock trade.
Which is actually pretty fast, I think, bring it out in July, isn't it?
Well, in-stock trades is only good if you're in America. Otherwise, you have to pay really terrible shipping fees. So, yes, America.
Yeah, but we're not. So, I was just thinking Amazon.
Now, I will also add on our WordPress, I have a new page on there called The Collective, and that is... The Collective is pretty much just a big...
The Borg?
No.
Yeah.
But that's the Collective, Connor.
Yeah, this is not Star Trek, Carl.
It's not the Borg Collective.
Yes, it's just called The Collective, and it's just where all our podcasts like advertise each other. So if you go to the Collective page on my WordPress page, there'll be a bunch of other similar podcasts to this one that you can check out for various characters or comic related stuff. The guys in this, the guys who are in this crossover are obviously on that page too. So go check that out as well. And yes, as always, please write into us because I was looking through our emails, and our last email was early last year, so
Sorry.
I'm sure you guys have something to say, right?
Yeah.
Is anyone actually listening? Let us know, please.
Yeah. And, one of those last emails we had was actually from the now host of the Moon Knight podcast.
Into the night.
Like, before he started that podcast, he emailed us. That's how long it's been since we got an email. So, threatened you maybe. I don't remember this, but yeah. All right, well, until next time, Don't sin, and may your fists become unto magic
Yeah,
fingers.
Agamotto.
And that too.
Take care.
Adios.
Peace. Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want really. Doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. You can also find us on Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon. Our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast. Our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are. Our YouTube, Connor Carl. Just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. And I would like to thank Thomas Tissot for letting us use his Iron Fist theme song for the start of our show. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.